All right, we're here with a case study with Karina, founder and CEO of, I think it's now called FemTech Lab. That's the
Yes.
name of it. Also KV Labs, that what we worked on together. We're not working together anymore, which I'm very sad about because you started a new company and we're going to talk about that. But yeah, can you give a brief description of you and your company and specifically KV Labs, because that was the company we worked on together?
Yes, sure. So KV Labs is and was a product design agency. So I specialize specifically in user experience design and automation and AI technology. And my clients would usually be innovative companies in highly regulated industries that are scaling quite quickly and need to implement technology in such a way that actually supplements and accelerates that scaling in a powerful way. So that's my background. And then now I'm working full time on a project called FemTech Lab. It's an accelerator focusing on women's health and wellness and technology products and services that are involved in that space. So that's my full-time gig right now, hence why we paused our videos, because it's just too much going on and I couldn't do both for this period of time.
Yeah, very exciting. So with KV Labs, what are the job titles and kind of companies that you were targeting? You said a little bit about very highly regulated. What are kind of the job titles you were going for?
Yes, I was going for people that work in operations. So depending, of course, on the size of the company, for smaller companies, maybe even COO or head of operations. Also regulatory compliance and legal departments. So head of compliance, head of risk, head of operational risk, and finally, innovation. So innovation teams, so that will apply to a bit larger organizations that already have an innovation team that's looking to bring in technology and bring in help and consultants that could help implement that technology.
Got it. What challenges or problems that you were dealing with led you to hiring us?
Sure. So beginning of 2020, when we were going into the lockdown, I started to sort of play around with posting content on LinkedIn. So I wanted to engage with people in a digital way where sort of I didn't have to rely on going to events or meeting people in person all the time. I wanted to create like a scalable way of communicating with people in my network, in my industry, and my potential clients as well. And so I started with a few videos and it went quite well. So the feedback and the response was very positive and I enjoyed doing it. But what I guess struggled with is finding time and headspace and just sort of putting more content out there. It would take me like a month to create a new video, and I just felt like it wasn't that I could do more, and it wasn't creating enough engagement as a result. And yeah, I guess I couldn't organize myself to do as much as I wanted to, and that's I guess that was the key challenge that I had when I
Got it.
reached out to you guys.
So you started posting content, you realized that posting content on LinkedIn for your company and the people you're targeting specifically would be helpful. How did you describe kind of how you went about doing that before working with us? Like how did your process look like? Did you have a process? You did all of the activities, I'm assuming. So just walk me through how you went about kind of solving that problem before working with us.
Yeah, sure. So I had a content calendar. So I use Notion for everything, and I set up a content calendar there, and I would have I would have themes of content that I wanted to post about every few weeks, and those themes would change. And it would usually be something that I was interested in at the moment, that I was reading a lot about, or I was doing a project on. In most cases, that was actually it. That I was working on something and I was learning and practicing it, and I wanted to at the same time be creating content on that subject. So I had a calendar, and then I would plan ahead of time in that calendar what sort of topics and types of content I wanted to post. So whether it's a short post or quote or a video. And then it would give me some time to plan when to record the videos, especially. And then it would take me so long to record these videos because I would like have a topic and then I would script. So I would take me a really long time to do the videos because I would know, for example, that next week I want to post a video on user interviews, which is a discovery part of UX. And then I would sort of need to sit down and script it and think about sort of how I want to organize it. And usually I would like script out the whole thing because when I sit in front of the camera, I felt like I needed to have the script memorized to comfortably talk at the camera and make the recording. And then, yeah, I would record it. It would usually take me like an hour to record a 3-minute video. It would be so many multi-number takes that I would have on my phone. Maybe one day I should post all of the, how do you call it?
Outtakes.
Exactly.
We still have lots of them.
Yeah.
We can blackmail you.
Blackmail me exactly one day with all of those. So yeah, and then I would record it, and then I would use iMovie Maker to edit it, and I would use iVeed to add subtitles.
All right, and so how did the process change once we started to work together? Like, how would you describe the process together with us?
Well, first of all, we started having regular recording calls. So every other Friday, I knew that I have 1 hour and we're going to record 4 videos, which, to be honest, in the beginning, I was like, how is that going to happen? I was like, there's no way in 1 hour we're going to be able to record 4 videos. So that was change number 1. This was in the calendar. This was scheduled. There was accountability in working with you guys.
Towards the end, it only took you, I think, like 20, 30 minutes to get all the videos out, and then we had time left over.
Yeah, exactly. And it is like a part of it is the more you do it, the better you get as well, for sure. I think the second thing, kind of most impactful that changed was that it wasn't just me recording the videos in front of my own camera. And that actually made, I think, a big difference for me is that you guys are on the other sides of the camera. And rather than me kind of awkwardly speaking into my phone, it's a conversation. And then instead of me recording and then listening to myself and being like, that's a bit weird, should I do this again? It was more a case of you telling me on the spot, that was good, or okay, maybe let's say this bit a little bit differently. And I actually, as a result, think that's why I didn't need as many takes, because A, it was a bit more natural, and B, I had that immediate feedback that kind of made me feel a bit more confident that, yeah, we got it, this was enough. So that also was a kind of one big thing that changed. And editing of the whole thing was just an amazing lifesaver and time saver. Is that, we did the recording and then it's kind of done, and then I don't know, in a few days or in a week I can look at the videos. So that was also just incredibly convenient for me, is that I did not have to think about it. The subtitles are done, the videos are done. It made my life much easier.
Was there anything else that you would say the process changed?
So another thing that changed was network growth. So I did feel like it was obviously super important to expand the LinkedIn network and connect with more and more people that you want to professionally connect with and basically have conversations with, and you would think that find your content interesting. And so, that was also something that you guys helped me do, where I basically defined the ideal client, the ideal role within a business that I want to be speaking to. And basically you were expanding my LinkedIn network for me and adding those connections. And that was incredibly valuable because as a result, I met, I think, quite a few people that I'm now staying in touch with and that engage with my content consistently.
Love it. Was there any, so you decided, I'm curious, you decided in January that you want to start posting content. Were there any trends, or what were the trends that led you to go this route? I mean, obviously there are many things you can do to try to find more customers, right? You could be doing cold emailing, cold calling, go to maybe networking events weren't so viable, but like what was it that drove you to go particularly in this direction of content, videos, LinkedIn?
Yeah, I think it's, well, obviously the world changed this year. And so events were not on the table as an option for a while. And I'm also an introverted person in a sense that I can only take so many events and so many networking opportunities. And I thought that building a digital platform and having a digital profile and a digital personal brand is the way to go because it's more scalable. It's more likely that you meet more like-minded people because, you know, if you are prepared to put yourself and your views and your experience out there, then there's a really high chance that someone that's checking out your profile and watches a few videos is going to say, oh, wow, that's interesting, that resonates, I want to have a conversation, and then does engage with me, whether as a client or as a partner or as a colleague or as a whatever. And that's what I thought could be a beneficial thing for me personally to do. And then I think that LinkedIn is a massive opportunity as a social media platform. I've never been kind of an Instagram or Twitter avid poster. It's just not my, I don't know, it just never clicked for me. Whereas LinkedIn, I think, has that perfect opportunity to have a personal brand that relates to your profession and your career and your kind of intellectual interests, which resonates with me more than what I've seen on Instagram, for example. And I also thought that my understanding and my kind of my research was that it's really difficult right now on platforms like Instagram and Twitter and Facebook to build an audience and reach an audience. It's expensive to do so. You have to pay for ads. It's a lot of work. Whereas on LinkedIn, it's still fairly
organic,
exactly. The organic reach is really high, and I've experienced that myself. So I don't know how much longer that's going to last for. And I think that's what I realized in the beginning of the year is like, if I produce one video a month or every 2 months, you know, who knows, maybe by the end of the year, this is going to be a much more saturated environment. There's going to be more people posting videos, which is exactly what's happening. And then it's going to be much harder to create a space for yourself. So I did want to accelerate my expertise in creating LinkedIn content, and working with you guys as a partner in that is one of the reasons, because I don't want to sit there and have to figure out how to work LinkedIn. I preferred working with someone that already has and then apply that quickly rather than ending up being behind.
Yeah. I don't know, did you research other solutions similar to us? And if so, why did you choose us over someone else, or what stood out about us?
So I didn't research. I basically have a friend in New York that
Eduardo.
Yeah, that lives with your friends.
Yeah.
And her and I were in Paris in the beginning of the year in February, and I was telling her about this sort of idea I had for LinkedIn, and I was like, I need some help, someone to help me hack LinkedIn, help me figure out how to use it effectively as a tool. And she was like, yeah, my flatmate, I think, does something with Instagram, but maybe he knows LinkedIn. And then she got me in touch with him. And then he said, I can't help you with LinkedIn, but a friend of mine, Finn, can. And so that's when I was like, I'm a big believer in introductions. So I just went with it. But I do have to say, once I spoke with you for the first time, the reason why I chose working with you guys was because you seemed to have been absolutely on point in terms of the challenges I would be facing as someone that's running a business and also is trying to create content on the side. And the purpose I had for creating content was to sort of supplement my business. The two were interconnected. So you kind of identified the challenges I had. And I was like, yes, exactly. They get me. And the solutions that you offer mitigate the challenges I have. So, having frequent calls, helping brainstorm the questions for future content, editing the whole thing, drafting copies for the videos. Basically, everything you did was exactly what I needed at the time in terms of the things that I was struggling with. So that's why I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I need.
What feature or part of the process did you like the most? If the 80-20 of kind of what we helped you with, if you pick one thing, what did you find most appealing?
Honestly, the recording. It changed for me completely from being this daunting thing that I have to do in my apartment, record myself, talk about something, feeling imposter syndrome while doing it. It changed from that to having like you guys for an hour and talking and asking you advice about other things in general, and then recording, and then it just became something I enjoyed, whereas before it was something I dreaded. So I think for me that's been my favorite bit, which is why I recommend you to all of my friends who are thinking about creating videos, because it's become this thing that I really enjoyed doing. It does take time to prepare, it does take work. It's not sort of there's no easy way.
Free lunch. Yeah. So let's talk results and let's talk numbers. Ideally, how has our process, our solution working with us, either generate revenue or clients for you, or increase productivity for you? If you can share maybe exactly how much time you saved in the process. So what were the kind of results in terms of productivity and or monetary that you saw from working with us?
It's so hard to measure monetary because I don't know. I feel like it's not that people come to me and then they say, we're going to hire you because we've seen your videos. But I would say that for sure. I think my credibility and just, new projects that I start, and even what I do now with the FemTech Lab and conversations I have with people, that is all accelerated because I have a content presence on LinkedIn, and you can always check out my expertise on the topics that I know well. So I don't know how to measure that. In terms of productivity, for sure, I think I counted at some point that it took me at the end. So let's say even 1 hour for the recording, and then maybe 3 hours to prepare. So 4 hours together to produce 4 videos. Whereas
every 2 weeks. So that's 2 hours per week on average.
Exactly. Whereas in the past, one video would definitely take me 6 hours probably at the very least, if you take into account. Yeah, if you take into account research and scripting, because I had to script it perfectly, and then recording itself, and way more takes that it would take me by myself than it was with you, and then the editing, of course. Even though, to be fair, at editing I got really good at the end, so it's not even that the editing took me so long, although it is convenient not to have to do it. So yeah, I would say that's the difference. So 4 hours, 2 hours per week with you, and then that produces 2 videos per week.
So 1 hour per video roughly,
Yeah.
And before that was 6 hours.
Exactly.
Just,
yeah.
Got it. That's cool. So unfortunately, we lost you as a client. Why is that? Were you not happy? Do you hate us? What happened?
No, so I didn't want to pause is the word that I would prefer than to.
All right, you paused. You didn't
Exactly.
fire us.
Pause our engagement. No, it's just with starting FemTech Lab full time and still having clients at KV Labs that I'm not taking on any new clients, but I'm finishing a project with a client.
Yeah.
It was just really difficult to find headspace, and it's one of those things where something has to go, and I still post videos on the FemTech Lab aspect of things now. And we're still figuring out, me and my partner, how to do that and how to together build a brand. And I think once we settle into all of that, into a little bit of more of a routine, and I know how these videos fit into my new project again, I'll definitely resume. So it really is just a case that I'm incredibly busy over the last few months. So yeah.
So you closed KV Labs, which was the thing that we're working on, and you're now working on the FemTech Lab, which is a very exciting project, by the way. Thank you for doing this with me. How can people find out about the FemTech Lab? Obviously, we're going to post this as a case study, but maybe someone sees this and thinks, what's this FemTech accelerator or about? Where can they find out about it, or find you?
Sure. So at this point, the best thing, I guess, would be to follow me on LinkedIn and to follow FemTech Lab on LinkedIn. We are, maybe by the time this case study comes out, our new website is likely to be live. So definitely check that out, femtechlab.com. If you're a startup and you're doing something in women's health, wellness, if you're creating a product for women, definitely reach out and consider whether applying to the accelerator program may be for you.
Cool. All right. Thank you very much.